Brillig began with our mutual love of the 80s drum machine. That was a major part. I just wanted to start a band that had a drum machine, and Elizabeth played the viola, but not in a beautiful common student way, more in a it sounds like a spike getting driven through your head way. So we wrote these songs that had beautiful melodies, but very industrial, gothy kind of beats, and very affected, lots of processing sounds, and so that's how we began. But obviously we've changed a lot since then. Playing an instrument sort of led me to meet up with friends, to make music, to form a band, to take it as far as we could.
A little bit of musical theatre, but generally I've just always loved to sing.
So now, yeah, we love it here. It's great. Adelaide's just a fine place to be an artist. Probably one of the worst things about being here and trying to get your music out further is it's just a long way. The closest real gig you'll get is Melbourne. It's 9 hours, so that's somewhat of a commitment to play a show, to drive 9 hours to do it.
I think it sorts out the serious bands versus those who are just out for a good time. You can have a great career here just playing for fun. There's a supportive scene for that, supportive live venues.
You just need to keep moving. You don't have to move away from here. Like, lots of famous Australian acts. Mirror on the Wall album got us out to the rest of the country nicely, and it also landed us a record deal in Germany.
It's not just Germany, that's the thing. We're getting reviews from all sorts of European countries that we have to translate, for better or for worse.
What about the one from Spain that called me, they couldn't translate the Mad Hatter, so they called me the crazy sombrero guy. Recently we've begun to write a new album. It's based entirely on the concept of death. As a songwriter, that's a really interesting topic to delve into. It's something that's close to everybody, something everyone thinks about but don't necessarily explore in too much detail.
But I think that the most exciting thing has been going back to the acoustic roots and being able to pick up this little menagerie of musical pets that I have now. So the instruments themselves are creating a new side of the band.
The range of music that's come from that has been really interesting.
My role is to kind of fill the colour of certain songs, and I needed a few instruments to do that, so I've picked up the piano accordion.
Play the harmonica, which is really handy if you ever go to jail.
And the auto harp, which is fairly unknown in Australia, I suppose. You'll see a few here and there, but it's a very well-known American folk instrument.
I also play the banjo, so I don't play it in a hokey country way. I play it in a slow, creepy, death way. So, our influences. A pretty obvious one, I think, is the Alice in Wonderland story. Yes.
Mad Tea Party?
Yes, obvious. Yeah, our name actually comes from the second book of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass. It's from a nonsense poem called Jabberwocky. It starts off, "Twas Brillig, in the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wave."
The best part is when people actually recognise the name from the stanza.
Yeah, when I gave Robert Smith from The Cure our first album, he picked it up and goes, "Twas Brillig in the slithy toes." We have a beautiful song at the moment called The Frozen Lake, which is about an old couple who've been together for a lot of years, and they come to the point when somebody has to die first. And it's quite a heavy moment to know that you've been with someone for your whole life and one of you will die and leave the other one alone.
For our new direction, it's pretty interesting that we're sort of a goth folk band at the moment, and that comes, we have a lot of acoustic instruments and acoustic sound, but we don't sound like most acoustic bands, mainly because our influences aren't just from the acoustic or alt country or folk realms.
That's been a fun process to see how to continue through different forms, through different styles, through different years, through different people, to create music that is Brillig.